Let's take a look at the GitHub Codespaces Lifecycle. There was no diagram, so I'm the first one to make one, if that's even that exciting. But usually the first thing that's going to happen is you want to create your codespace. And technically reopening is kind of similar, so we could say create or reopen. And from there, we want to get our codespace running. Once our codespace is running, we can stop it. And of course, stopping it freezes the state of your workspace so you can use it again later. And the idea is that if we want to reuse it, we just reopen it and it'll run again. If let's say our our environment timed out for any reason, maybe we walked away from our computer, maybe we just forgot that we forgot to turn it off, maybe we had some kind of interruption, Codespaces is going to turn off by default after 30 minutes of activity. It's basically the same thing as doing a stop, and it's the equivalent. It's the equivalent of doing a stop there. So this is just to keep costs low for you. If you want to make changes to your dev container file, which is going to say what your base image is and stuff that's installed, you have to do a rebuild in the current environment. That's the only way it's going to do that. If you're launching up a codespace for the first time, it's going to build it from that dev container, but sometimes you have to do rebuilds. The environment gets saved periodically, so generally you're not losing data. So when you abruptly close and then it stops, it's persisting data to the virtual machine as long as it's not deleted, but still assume that that environment is possible to be lost. I think after a certain amount of time, it will actually delete a repo after a certain amount of days. So just understand that, if it's something really important, make sure to commit it and put it in a temporary branch or a working branch. It does auto-saving, so with the VS Code browser, it will auto-save on by default. For VS Code Desktop, auto-save needs to be turned on, apparently. But when I was using it, I never ran into any issues. It just seemed to work. When you're done with your environment, you can delete it. You don't have to delete it if you think you're going to start it up again because you're not having any spend while it's deleted, but there could be some limits in terms of how many workspaces you have or code spaces, so you might need to delete some, but there you go.